Here's what you should know about your local housing market in this week's Market Update. This week, we're looking at stats for Morristown, Chatham, Madison, Harding, Morris Plains, Mendham, Chester, Bernardsville, Basking Ridge, and Randolph. We have just completed the first week of August. Typically, August is a slower time in the local real estate market. So let's dive into the stats and see if that is reigning true this week. So this past week, we actually saw an increase in homes coming on the market. So for August, that's a little bit surprising. So we had 37 new homes come on the market this past week, and that's a 16% increase over the prior week. Randolph had the most number of homes coming on the market this past week with 8. So out of these towns, 25 of those homes were single-family houses, and 12 of those were condos or townhouses. The average list price of new homes on the market was $1,220,000, which is a 5% decrease over the prior week. We saw Madison this week with the highest average list price at $2,975,000. Total inventory in these towns is currently 233 homes actively on the market. That's actually a slight 2% decrease over inventory last week. We're seeing pretty healthy numbers within these towns, mixed between some up, some down. We see the most inventory currently in Basking Ridge and in Randolph, both respectively with 37 homes actively on the market. Sold homes, we saw 41 homes sell this past week. That is actually a 16% decrease over last week. Not too surprising because we saw an abnormally high number of homes sell last week. We saw the most number of sales this past week in Morristown and Morris Township with 11 homes, which is still a decrease over the last week in that town. Average list price of the homes sold this past week was $1,007,000, and the average sale price of homes in these towns this past week was $1,044,000. So this past week, we saw homes sell on average for 4.3% above the list price. Now, looking into towns individually, the only town that saw homes sell below list price was in Chatham, where homes sold at 2.4% below the list price this past week. However, all of the other towns saw homes sell at or above list price. Harding saw one sale at list price. Otherwise, the rest of these towns, we saw homes sell for anywhere from 2% above list price to 12% above list price, which was Madison. Average days on market for these home sales was 20 days on the market. That's a 31% increase over the home sales last week. And then finally, under contract. We saw 36 homes go under contract this past week. That is a 12% decrease over the prior week. Homes average list, which is a little bit surprising because we saw a lot more homes come on the market this past week over the prior week. Under contract, the average list price of the homes that went under contract was $1,122,000. That's an 8% decrease over the last week. And then here's one of the big stats we're looking at: median days on market. Keep in mind, under contract gives us a good picture of what's happening right now in the market, as opposed to solds that usually give us a glimpse into what was happening a month or two back. So under contract, median days on market, we saw this past week was 19 days on market, which is actually a 31% decrease over the prior week. So it does appear that homes might be selling a little bit faster. Let's see if that trend keeps up. A lot of the chatter this past week has been around interest rates. There is quite a bit of speculation that once the fall hits, that we will see interest rates decline. Maybe not a ton, but at least slightly. So we are anxiously anticipating and hoping for that. I think buyers, sellers, everybody involved would like to see lower interest rates, even if it's just a little bit. So August time, I hope you all have some phenomenal family vacations, fun activities, getting, while it might seem shocking, your last licks of summer. So thanks for checking in with me. I'll catch you guys again next week.